Here we go.
There we go.
It's Do You Convert Live. Welcome, episode number. We never know. That's the running gag. We lost track a while back ago. So excited to have you here. Do You Convert? Mike Lyon, and I'm with
Jen Barkin.
And why do we love going live with you and doing Do You Convert Live? Well, it's our chance to jump on and connect with all of you out there, have great conversations, interact with you, and provide a resource always for anybody interested in online sales, for home builders, best practices, all that great stuff. And we've got a fun one planned for you. We are here for you today. But before we get into that, there's a lot of other stuff that we have to offer. Isn't that right, Jen? We've got
not just Facebook Live, but we have Proof Marketing podcast with Kevin and Andrew and the team.
That's right. We've got your opt-in with industry peers out there that you are interviewing. I've loved watching this. Your faces out there. Great stuff coming. Keep it up. So we want to just keep providing resources for you. So yeah, go check those out if you haven't checked them out already. Fun videos, great podcasts, and more from Do You Convert. And Jen, we just finished the Online Sales and Marketing Summit, which was fantastic. It was in Chicago, and inevitably, when we're there and when we come back, the questions just start flowing. And that's what we wanted to do today, was take a little bit of time and answer some of those top online sales questions that we get. So if you're joining us here, smash the like button, let us know that you're here, and comment, because we will answer your questions live as they stream in. So let us know that you're here. We want to see you and say hi. So we're gonna get right right into this. Okay, let's see. Jen, what is the first question? Oh, I think I know where this is going. What is the first question that we're going to answer here today?
So we recently released a new blog post about how to hire an online sales specialist, kind of outlining our process. And that always sparks a lot of questions.
Right.
In the post, we refer to this as an audition.
Yeah.
So, what does that even mean, an audition? What skills or behaviors are we looking for in the audition process, in the hiring process?
Yeah, so it's an interesting frame that we have, thinking about not just a hiring or recruiting, but we're auditioning this person for the role that they're actually going to be in, which is very interesting because through this process, which we conduct all by email and phone up front, we're seeing how they would potentially interact with our customers. So when we're auditioning them, we're looking for things like speed of the response. We're looking for the quality of their communication. Are they likable over email and the phone? How do they sound? Are they coachable even? So all these things that some jokingly refer to as the gauntlet. If you've been through the gauntlet, say I've been through it and I made it. That really allows home builders out there to vet out those people who would say, I have qualifications and I'm interested, but could they actually do the job, right? So those skills and behaviors that we're looking for, which is likability, coachability, and ability to communicate well over those mediums. That's what it's all about. That's why we call it the audition process. This is a little bit different, right?
Yeah. And it needs such a special process because it's a hybrid type of position.
That's
right. Good at sales, but also can communicate well through email and phone. I mean, it's a hybrid unicorn position needs a hybrid unicorn process. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for that special person. It's not just the typical meet them in person sales interview.
That's right.
You got to do things a little differently.
So Jen, along with that, people always say, when do I need to hire my online sales specialist, or when do I need to hire a second one potentially? What are your thoughts? I'll chime in too.
My thoughts are, if you have a website and you are spending marketing dollars driving traffic to your website, then yes, you need an online sales specialist to be the gatekeeper, to manage all of those first interactions and provide back to you what's happening with your leads. How are your marketing dollars being spent? And, when do you hire a second one? that, that depends on, how many sales you're projected for the year, how many leads they're being managed. You look for signs of burnout and, call volume, again, lead management. So all of those things you need to take into consideration. When you get to that threshold, that's your cue. Like, hey, we need another.
Yeah. And if you want to look for concrete numbers, just kind of as a baseline, if you're a builder at 50 to 70 sales a year, you can start thinking about having this position in place that's also going to be managing some other things, but a good portion of their day is managing that incoming lead volume. And
Right.
we can start justifying adding a second person at, going to from 150 leads. If you're up to 250 leads, you might need a second person for backup, because there's so much that's involved beyond just the initial lead management, like prospecting, coming soon communities,
right,
managing realtor relations, and some of those things that go along with it. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely
crucial, but hiring is not easy, and especially doing it the way that we laid out for you. It's tough, but it will get you a great person in the role, and your chances of success are much higher. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Follow the process.
Follow the process. All right.
Hire in haste.
Absolutely. If you guys have any questions at all, leave it on the comments. We'll be sure to answer. What's the next one here for us, Jen?
No one answers the phone anymore. Should I still call?
Oh, man.
Ooh.
We hear this a lot. I mean, a lot. Hey, nobody's picking up. It's going straight to voicemail. I don't want to be a spammer. I don't want to interrupt anybody. Nobody answers the phone anymore. And I always say back to a lot of our online sales specialists who ask us, like, nobody answers the phone because nobody's calling. Right? And they don't know who you are, and you haven't set expectations that you will be calling, and you only call once and that's it. It's like, so yes, you absolutely should be calling, because in the world where we can automate and leverage sales technology to do most of this stuff for us, you cannot replace that human voice.
No.
And that connection. And so even if you're leaving a voicemail, there's power in that. And yes, I know they're transcribed on a lot of cell phones, but people are hitting play. They're listening. They want to see who this is. So we definitely believe the phone is still your friend. You can definitely layer other things in there, like texting, right? Plugging that in, filling the gaps, leveraging emails. But in a world of high tech and high automation, the phone is still a very, very powerful tool. You've seen that. Right, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, that is still your first best resource for making immediate contact. Speed goes along with that too. So if you're quick to respond and you can get them while they're still engaged on your website, phone is by far your best chance. Right off the bat.
Yeah, you can cover a whole lot on a phone call. So
absolutely.
Okay.
All right, next question. My manager wants me to cover for salespeople on their days off. In the model home.
We get this a lot.
Should I do that?
Should you, Jen?
This is a loaded question. So my knee-jerk response is no, because that's hard. How can you really do a good job interacting with people face to face when your first priority is to be responsive on new leads coming in and answering the phone?
Right.
So that's a tough one. That is not a great idea if that's your primary responsibility, is to manage those leads.
Yeah, I come out and say it's like most of the times I say no, it's not. And some people come back and say, well, it's Wednesday, it's not really that busy, or it's a Thursday, that's not a high traffic day. Well, it may not be a high prospect traffic day, but there's still a lot of people coming in and out of that model home who need something. Current customers, appraisers. People trying to sell stuff, someone checking in on giving you bids for your cabinets, and it is really, really hard. And here's another thing that I see, Jen, is a lot of people go, well, this online sales specialist is great at working remotely. Well, there's still something to be said about not being in your world with your office, with your computer, with everything set up, with fast internet. So when you get outside of your normal office setting, even though you may be bringing your laptop around, it is not the high efficiency
absolutely
virtual desk that you have. And so it can become a problem. So in most cases, I would say probably not a good idea Don't try and justify the position by having them be a roamer in the model homes and things like that. So in most situations, my answer is no. And Jen's too nice.
Too.
She says,
no, me
kind of
too.
maybe.
It's no.
It's no.
No,
Good.
it's definitely no. It's definitely no.
Good.
There's other options.
Awesome. Okay, well, what else do we got here? Another question. I'm looking down at the list here.
Should I be managing the MLS listings and inventory on the website?
Okay, so a lot of online sales specialists get wrapped up in there. This is another Mike says just no. Right? But it depends sometimes.
Right.
Here's the concept to think about when managing things like this or doing administrative work potentially. What we get when we push back and say, is there somebody else who could be doing this? Leaders and people in charge go, well, isn't it good that they know the inventory and they know what's available and they're putting it on the website and they're putting it on the MLS? And I say, well, yes, it's important that they know that, but they don't have to do the work to know that.
Right.
And that's the challenge, is that work is time intensive. It's administrative. MLS work is extremely hard. And we underestimate how much time that could take, and
time consuming for sure.
Potentially, could someone else do this for less per hour than our highly trained ninja assassin online sales specialist? What do you think about that, Jen, as far as just trading that time and
I always go back to the golden rule is if my first priorities are suffering, then the answer is no. Like, you always have to go back to, am I being super responsive? Are my leads taken care of? Am I setting appointments? If none of those, if my prospecting, if those things are suffering, then somebody else needs to be doing that work.
Right.
That's taking you away from revenue building activities for your organization.
Yeah, that's a big one. If it's not lead converting,
right,
or potentially lead generating, right? But the first thing is you need to be highly focused on lead converting activities. So in most cases, we can make the justification that, is there an admin and is there a support person who could be doing those things, and you could be paying close attention to the inventory in a different way. So great question. Absolutely. We hope that removes some of that mystery around it, because a lot of times we just throw it over to the online sales specialist and say, well, it's online. The stuff that's happening online. Yeah. You take care of it. All right.
Exactly.
Here's one I want to give to you, Jen. Is it the online sales specialist's responsibility to nurture an interest list outside of what marketing does? Marketing's already emailing. Marketing's already putting some drip campaigns together. We've already got them on some kind of workflow. Do I need to be doing something with that when it's all done?
That's a great question, Mike. So absolutely. So remember, email marketing is great, but it is not follow-up. It is not nurturing your prospects. So if you are managing a coming soon list, I love what Kevin says, be pleasantly persistent, right? Be persistent with your presence, he says. So absolutely, you need to be sending a mass mail that looks personal to your interest list. Even if you don't have an update from marketing, we get this all the time. Like, I don't have much to say. I haven't heard from production. Nothing's happening. Sending something to your list that says, hey, I'm still here. You're still on the list. I don't have an update for you, but rest assured, as soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.
Right.
So, if you don't spend the time to monthly send some little nugget out to them, when fast forward to the time when you get the go that you are ready to release or you're having an event, if they haven't heard from you for a few months, it's going to be harder to re-engage and get those appointments that you need for grand opening and when you are ready to sell.
Yeah, so. I think it's so interesting that people get stuck. They get writer's block. They get information block. I don't have anything to send. And what we always want to encourage everybody on is, what's the goal of your communication and your persistence and your presence, right? Those things that go together. It's to increase the familiarity.
Yes.
And that's always what it's about, is we want to make sure people are familiar with you, the brand, the community, right? So you need to be attached to this process, because when the time comes to launch, you're the spokesperson until it gets going, right? And so put your face out there, make sure there's videos coming. I love the videos that our online sales specialists send of hard hats in front of nothing.
Yeah.
Like
we're moving dirt.
We don't care.
Dirt out here.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's just their face, right? The message is their
Exactly.
face. So being present, I think that's good.
And your interest list receiving an email from, Jen at happyacres.com is different,
Yeah.
has a different impact than, updates or info at happyacres.com.
That's right.
So you want to have that personalization come through.
I see Barb saying hi. Hello, Barb. And it's funny that you said hi.
Hey, Heidi.
Right at the same time that we were talking about this coming soon video, because I remember one of the videos I saw about a year back or so back of you in front of the coming soon sign talking about it. You had a great grand opening. It was just you talking in front of that community again. As the spokesperson for this coming soon community, that's an online salesperson taking ownership of this very important process, which I think that's interesting. We think about the VIP launch, someone has to take ownership of that communication, that schedule, that timeline. So don't be afraid. Don't wait for marketing to tell you to do something. Go in there and say, what can I send this month? Something's going out to everybody on the list. What can I send? Good to see you. Hi, Heidi, too. We see you there. All right, let's see. One or two more questions. We'll see what we got up our sleeves. I might have a surprise question for you, Jen. Here's a big one that we're starting to see even within some of our own clients that we work with, of cherry picking what leads they're counting against their conversion rates. So like do I count all of my leads, even those BDX recommended leads, those new home source recommended leads? A lot of people say that. What's the answer on that?
Absolutely. So I just want to preface this by saying, with all of the different sources now out there coming into you, it's not just call-ins and contact form registrations anymore. That's what it kind of used to be, right? Now you have all these different, you have third party, you have BDX recommended, anything that you have an opportunity to touch and convert, even if it's at a lower conversion rate, is still a lead, and you still need to count it in your numbers.
Right.
So take a deep breath. It's okay if you notice maybe a decrease in your lead to appointment. Yep, breathe. It's okay. Everybody knows that is working with you.
Right.
Okay. So don't worry. And if you want to break it out and show, this is what it is with these sources, this is what it is without, totally fine. Just for your own, peace of mind. Absolutely do that. But absolutely, you count everything that comes into you.
And I think, helping online sales specialists understand the importance of how that relates to marketing. If we can show leads and we can count those leads and we can put everything in, and we are accurately reporting everything the best way that we possibly can, marketing gets super excited and wants to create more. They want to give you more leads and more different sources. So it is important. All leads matter. They're not all created equal, but like we say, they're equally valuable in what you do and how you're able to produce that activity on site, right? So low converting, high converting, we mix it all together. Don't get hung up on your conversion rates on everything. Look at the overall contribution rate. And I'll kind of add one more final piece to that number is, that's the ultimate success of this program, is what are you contributing that's coming directly from appointments that you're setting through the online sales program. That how the sausage gets made in between is important, but it's not as crucial as the final amount. So maybe my appointment to sales is a little bit lower than it used to be. That's okay, because you're contributing 40% of sales for the company where it used to be 25.
Exactly.
Right? So those are things that those are things that
online sales contribution equals the health of your program.
That's right. Jen, my final question for you. I want you to take us home with this. All right. What is one of the best things that an online sales specialist can do in a sales meeting to get their salespeople excited about their appointments? Any thoughts on one of the best things that they can do in a sales meeting to get them excited about their appointments, or reinforcing the right behaviors?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the concept of the online sales tag team award.
Oh, yeah.
This is so very cool. because it really is a fun way to, like Mike was saying, promote the behaviors that you want your on-site teams to do, shout out successes, and consistently do this. So here's what I mean. You pick, different people. You can give them tag team awards on conversions to sale, CRM behaviors, following the handoff process. Hey, you did a great job getting back to me on that appointment that came out. Hey, you did a great job putting notes in CRM. It could be as simple as that, but consistently recognizing them, especially if you're having a hard time getting them on board with what you're trying to do. They may not bite at first, but if you consistently do this, they will get into it, trust me, and it's a great feel-good thing for you guys to do. So online sales tag team award.
I think that's great, and that's our nice friendly reminder from all of us here at Do You Convert. Make sure you participate in those sales meetings frequently. Don't get stuck back in the corner. Have something fun to share. I've heard people say, well, this is brand new. What do I even talk about? Just talk about the fact that they responded back to you on a new appointment, something fun, right? Barb says right here, she just got back. She got a $25 gift card to a company store for swag. That's great. It takes a little bit, right, to get people excited. A little Starbucks here and there.
Starbucks.
That goes a long way. Get some of that nitro brew going.
Yeah.
You know.
Lottery tickets.
Yes.
I mean, it doesn't have to break the bank. Just something fun that you can give out to them. They get excited about it.
That's right. Well, hey, thank you, everybody. Say goodbye, hello, heart, smash, smiley face, whatever you want. It was so good to be with you all on this episode of Do You Convert Live. Jen and I love the opportunity to talk with all of you and share best practices as it relates to online sales programs and everything you can do to convert more leads and create more sales. From all of us at Do You Convert, thanks so much, and we will see you soon.
Hey, guys.